It's Money Monday, a segment here at 4 o'clock where we talk about easy to understand ways to navigate our finance. Of course, we do it each week with the help of our financial expert and friend, Paul Hood from Hood CPAs. We have some great questions today, Paul. I want to jump right in with Heather's.
Let's go, Heather.
Heather says, my mom is really sick and worried that a long-term care facility will take all of her assets like her house and her car. She wants to transfer everything into my name. Is that allowed, and are there concerns about doing so?
So this is Heather, this is a very difficult part of planning, and really what she's asking is when somebody goes into a facility and doesn't have the assets to pay for it, then Medicaid will step in and help pay. So some people will try to transfer assets, give assets away so those assets aren't there, so Medicaid will pay quicker. You just got to be real careful. There's a 3, sometimes a 5-year look back that if somebody, Medicaid comes in and they think something's happened like this, they can actually trace it back through and see if they gave any significant assets away prior to going into basically circumvent the system. So it's kind of a tough answer. If we know there's a lot of time, then there's some estate planning purposes we could justify doing some of that stuff. But the reality is if she's pretty sick right now, it's probably not a whole lot she can do. We can modify, we can use some annuities and some different things to help with that, but probably something she ought to come sit down and talk with me about.
Okay. Harold writes in saying, what is the best way to earn interest on money that I've saved?
Well, that's a great question because interest right now on savings kind of stinks. It's pretty low. So it depends on, the question is going to be contingent upon when does he think he needs to spend it. If he's going to need the money within 18 months, just suck it up and stick it into the passbook savings account, or maybe get some short-term CDs to get a little better. If you don't think you're going to need it within the next 18 months, there's some longer-term investments, some bonds and those type of things he could get into. Okay,
last question goes to Guy. Guy writes and say, my dad grew up on savings bonds and always talked about how that was his main source of saving for the future. Are saving bonds still a thing? And if so, how does one get started with them?
Well, they are still a thing. They're a little different. Used to, savings bonds were actually paper. I mean, they would get, and you put them in your safe, or somebody passes away, you go look and you find a bunch of them in a drawer. Now it's all electronic. It's called Treasury Direct, and you can go online and you can buy Series EE bonds. So yeah, it's still a thing. They're just a little different. Again, the interest rates are so low right now. I don't know if savings bonds are a good investment right now, but they're safe. But yeah, you go to treasurydirect.com and you can check them out.
Okay, 25 seconds on the clock. If you got money laying around, where do you put it right now?
Well, again, it depends on when you're going to need the money. A good, consistent buying in 401k type thing is the best thing to do if we can go long term. If it's short term, put it in the bank, not worry about it.
Okay, start that 401k as young as you can.
Big time, yeah.
I wish I had started just a little bit sooner myself. All right, Paul, thank you so much. And if you have a financial question that you would like for us to talk about next week, all you have to do is just send in a quick question by email to moneymonday@griffin.news. We're back after this.